hello from Case Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome to Case Western Reserve football. Today on the campus of Case Western Reserve University, it's the Spartans against the Washington University Bears from St. Louis, Missouri. Case has taken the opening kickoff. Luis Gonsalves returning the football out to the 45-yard line, and this game is underway as the undefeated 8-0 Case Western Reserve Spartans take on the Bears in UAA conference play here today. Dan Whalen, the sophomore quarterback out of Willoughby South, will take the football and flip it out for Tim Cowdrick on the right side, but the pass dropped incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Spartans here in the first quarter of play. Washington University won the toss, deferred to the second half, and so Case will have the opening possession here today on an overcast day here in Cleveland. Temperatures in the low 50s to start the game as Whalen will go from the shotgun. Corey Chekin is in the backfield, and Chekin will get the carry. He hits the line of scrimmage and busts through for about 2, and the Spartans are looking at a long 3rd down. Ed Dougherty is alongside as always, and Ed, the Spartans bring in an 8-0 record after a 35-3 win last week against the University of Chicago, and a very special day here today as they have a chance to win an outright conference title.
That'll be the first time in school history that they would win an outright conference title. 1996 they shared the title, but since 1970 have not won an outright conference title.
Dan Whalen directing traffic. Sean Nicely was lined up to the far left side. Brian Webster was trying to get into the slot, but Whalen did not like the looks of the offensive setup there, and he burns a timeout. And so with 14-11 to play here in the first quarter, Case will talk things over, and it gives us a chance to set the scene here. Greg Debelak, the fourth-year head coach of the Spartans, talking with his team right now as they have an opportunity, Ed, to really continue a dream season here today. Not only the conference title implications are on the line here today, but an unbeaten season right now at 8-0. Case hoping to run the table and secure for themselves a spot in the upcoming Division III national playoffs. Whalen has the unit back out, and Webster lines up tight on the left side this time. Cowdrick and Colasar out wide to the right for Case. Whalen back to throw, and he will go down. Sacked by Washington's Nick Gialesis, and the Spartans will be forced to punt here after the sack by the Bears.
That's a very aggressive WashU defense. Overall, WashU has produced 29 turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. They really ball hawk towards it. They have 18 interceptions this season. Case not too far behind. They have a plus 13 in the turnover ratio as well, and that's going to be a key to the ball game.
Here is the punt from Whalen, who has been outstanding punting the football, and he aims for the sideline, and it bounces out of bounds right at the 25-yard line. So a nice punt by the Case sophomore, Dan Whalen. And the offensive unit for Washington University will come out for the first time today. We have no score, 13:34 to play here in the opening quarter. We're very glad to have you with us today for our coverage of Case Western Reserve football as the Spartans continue to roll along. They are 8-0, 2-0 in the UAA, this being the final conference game of the season. Back to throw, Buck Smith, the quarterback. He loops it downfield, and it is caught. Caught by the sophomore, the senior wide receiver, Matt Kenningsnecht, and he is tripped up by Luis Gonsalves for a big gain. Gonsalves saving a touchdown as this one goes all the way down to the 27-yard line.
Smith came out with a great play action, and all of the linebackers and defensive backs' first step was towards the line. Case was anticipating a run on first down, and it allowed Koenigsneck to get behind the defense and have a couple of steps on Gonsalves.
Buck Smith completing 56.3% of his passes on the season. That one was good for 48 yards. And now they keep it on the ground on the first down play, and they go to their sophomore running back, Matt Glenn, Glenn 5'11", 200, and he tries to break around the right side. Gets down to the 21-yard line. A pickup of close to 6. Second down and 4 for the Bears, who come into this game 6-2 on the season. They lost last week after squandering a lead at Carnegie Mellon. So Smith under center calls out the signals. He'll go back and hand up the middle. This time it's Gabe Murphy, their top running back. He stays on his feet, gets across the 15, and is tripped up close to the 12-yard line.
Hey, just inside trap play, Dave. Very reminiscent of what the Washington Redskins or Pittsburgh Steelers would run. They'll bring the backside tackle and an offside end back into the middle of the formation, trap off the nose guard, seal that up, and create a huge gap right up the middle.
Buck Smith again directing traffic. He'll go back, hand to Murphy again. This time he's hit and tackled by Jeff Brown of the Spartans. So that play is snuffed out. Second down coming up for Wash U.
Case handled the zone blocking a lot better on that play than they did on the previous two rush plays that were more of the inside traps. The straight ahead blocking, Case is quick enough and strong enough to get rid of the offensive linemen and free up the linebackers. But being as aggressive as defense they are, they tend to get caught on those slants and inside trap plays.
In motion, Matt Mangini. They'll go back, they'll hand it to Matt Glenn. Breaks around the left side, he's going to go in for the touchdown. Glenn rumbles for 11 yards and a score, and the Bears jump on top by a score of 6-0.
For Glenn, that's his 10th touchdown of the season. Second in the UAA. And he is the back that WashU likes to go to inside the 20-yard line.
Glenn, somewhat of a specialist, rushing now for just over 200 yards on the season. But he puts the Bears on the board, and the point after kick is coming up. The hold is down, and the kick is blocked. Kick is blocked. It's grabbed by Bruce Buchanan of WashU, but he is tackled, and the kick fails, and the score, Washington 6, Case nothing, with 11:33 to play here in period number 1. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Case ball when we come back on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Off to somewhat of a slow start on the first drive or so, but have really rebounded well in the early part of football games to take control. So we'll see if they do that today.
They've only given up 36 points in the first half coming into the ball game so far.
First play from scrimmage goes to Greg Meyer, and he tries to break around the right side, gets across the 25-yard line, might have picked up 3. Greg Meyer, the sophomore running back out of Clearwater, Florida. They mark the football on the 27 for Case. We're in the first quarter. Whalen quickly back to hand to Meyer again. He gets hit, dropped, might have picked up 1. And so the first two plays on the ground are defended well by Wash U.
I think Case's advantage is going to come from the fact that they like to play an up-tempo offensive set. And defensively, Wash U wants to get into their formation, get into their 4-3, be able to read the offense. So Case is not only going to have to go with their hurry-up or go with their spread, no huddle, but it's more or less going to have to be a hurry-up as well to slow down some of the speed and transitions that Wash U likes to have.
4 receiver set, checking the lone man in the backfield. They'll go to Webster with it. He makes the catch, but he's tripped up short of the 30-yard line. And the Spartans will have a 3-and-out again as it's 4th down and 5 from the Case 29.
Play was set up well, but the pursuit came from the middle of the field. Really slowed that play down. Whalen had to throw the ball a little higher than he wanted to, lob it out to the flat as opposed to throwing the screen pass.
Jim O'Brien and Matt Mangini drop back deep for Washington U. The kick coming up from Whalen. It's a good one, and it'll be taken by Jim O'Brien at the 40. Sidesteps a tackler to the 45, and he's run out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Nice job by O'Brien to get some yardage on that return. And it's a short field now for the Bears as they will set up shop on the 50-yard line.
And Wash U looking to take advantage of it. They are a pass-oriented offense. They throw the ball nearly 300 yards a game. They run for just over 100 yards a game, so they would rather throw it than run it.
Wash U has been very effective against the rushing attack of its opponents this year, giving up just a little over 108 yards a game, and they've been that way so far today. They hand the football to Gabe Murphy. He's tripped up in the backfield. This will lose yardage. Tom Brew getting back in there and helping to bring down Gabe Murphy.
Give Jeff Brown credit. He came in and stood up Scotty Guthrie. Guthrie coming off the wing as the trap man. And Brown really blew up the hole that was available by taking on Guthrie in the backfield.
Murphy lines up. The lone man in the backfield. Buck Smith to throw. Fires out to the left side. It's picked off by Luis Gonsalves. Intercepted. Spartan football. Well, they had 5 interceptions a week ago. And now Luis Gonsalves picks off his 5th of the year.
And for the team, they now move to a plus 14 in turnover ratio, and they have picked off 16 passes this year as a team.
Gonsalves stepping in front of the intended target and going down to the turf to haul that one in. That is the 11th interception thrown by Buck Smith on the season. And all of a sudden, the Spartans have the short field now with the football still on the 50. So Whalen back out, 3 receivers set. Nicely and Cowdrick lined up on the left side. They will go back, fake a handoff to Deitman. Whalen wants to go long. Nicely is all by himself at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown Spartans. 50-yard touchdown pass to Sean Nicely, who caught 2 a week ago. And the Spartans tie this game up at 6 at the 9:06 mark here in the first quarter.
Nicely just turned Evan Meyer around at the 40-yard line. Little jab step to the inside. Meyer slipped, went down, and by the time he got up, Nicely was 20 yards past him, wide open at the 20-yard line.
Now Sam Coffey will come in and try and give the Spartans the lead. Wash U missed their extra point kick earlier this quarter. Here is the snap, the hold, the kick by Coffey is up and good, and the Spartans take a 7-6 lead here with 9:06 to play in the first quarter. More Spartans football coming up in just a moment after this timeout on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Salvez into a touchdown as Whalen connects with Sean Nicely. Nicely with his 5th touchdown catch of the season. Line drive kick bounces once. It's taken by Matt Glenn, who ran in a touchdown earlier in the quarter. Glenn gets back to the 39-yard line before he's dropped. And the Bears offense will come back out with Case leading this game by a score of 7-6.
Overall, that scoring drive pretty easy to calculate. One play, 50 yards. Took just 9 seconds for Case to take the lead. Dan
Whalen with touchdown pass number 17 on the season. So the Bears are late coming out from the sideline huddle. The play clock at 19, and they are just now reaching the line of scrimmage. So they will get set up. 3 receivers set for Buck Smith. He has Gabe Murphy in the backfield. They have a tight end on the left side. They go back, fake the handoff. Smith on the run, fires and hits his man at the 50-yard line. No running room. The pass caught at the 50 by Miles Chan, the tight end, 6'3", 230 out of Hagerstown, Maryland. And this will move the ball up to the 47-yard line.
Some big hitting in the first 7 minutes or so of this ball game. You could feel the intensity. WashU obviously wanting a co-championship in the UAA. Case looking for the outright championship.
They'll go to Glenn with it. He is tripped up in the backfield by Jeff Brown. Brown got defensive help from Ben Klabina, and they snuff out that play on 2nd and 1, and so it might have lost a yard. Ed, they're looking now at a very important 3rd and 2.
Jeff Brown has really come on the scene this year for Case. 57 tackles. He now has 10 tackle for losses, 4 sacks, 3 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 interception. Jeff Brown, an outstanding year as a sophomore here for the Case defense.
Crowd wants to see a stop here. They will hand the football up the middle and get first down yardage. Ball carrier that time was Andrew. Well, let's see, who was the ball carrier? I thought it was 49, but that is not right.
I think Scott Guthrie got the call on that play.
Guthrie carries it for 3 and a first down.
That will match Guthrie's longest carry of the season.
Guthrie runs it for the first down, and the ball marked on the 50-yard line. A new set of downs for the Bears, and again they hand to Matt Glenn, but he has no running room as Tom Brew jumps through and tackles him right at the ankles, and that play loses a yard, so it's 2nd down and 11. Nice play by Brew.
Guthrie simply overran the trap block. He was coming off the wing on the right side, coming down the line as the play was started. Brew knifed through, but behind Guthrie and right into the backfield.
Michael Casper wide out, lines up far to the right side. They have Dan Cardone far to the left. Matt Mangini in motion. Buck Smith back to throw for the Bears. Pump fakes once, gets rid of it, hits his man at the 40-yard line, and all the way down to the 35. Pass caught out there by Mangini, the Columbus, Ohio product, and that's good for a first down for the Bears as they work into Case territory.
Case was in a soft zone on that play. Defensive backs just kind of giving the underneath, and Mangini simply went down, turned around, and came back for the football.
7-6 Spartans, 6:35 to play here in the first quarter. Buck Smith, 6'3", 180-pound junior, fires it out of bounds, and a late hit will be called against Luis Gonsalves as he leveled Dan Cardone as that ball went sailing out of bounds.
Gonsalves had his head down, and I don't think he realized the ball was overthrown at the time.
Ball was intended for Cardone, but far too high for a possible catch. Cardone had given up on the play. Gonsalves came in and hit the receiver and gets the flag, so this will mark it all the way up to the 20-yard line as they mark off 15 yards against the Spartans. 7-6 Case with 6:29 to go in the first quarter. We invite your emails today. Drop Ed and I a note at sportsinfo@case.edu. They'll go to Matt Glenn. Cuts back, gets into the 15-yard line range before he's finally brought down. So Glenn picks up 5, second down and 5 for the Bears as they march toward the end zone. They scored earlier on an 11-yard run by Matt Glenn to take the early lead. The Spartans countered with a 50-yard strike from Whalen to Sean Nicely. Right now, the difference, the extra point, Case leading at 7-6. 3 receivers set. They line up Joe Lubelski in the slot. They'll go to Lubelski. He makes the catch inside the 10. Down to the 7-yard line. Lubelski out of West Geauga High School. A senior, 6'1", 205. He makes his first catch of the day.
Other than the long play downfield and the tight end delay they had earlier in their second drive, WashU looks to be running a lot of these hot routes, almost anticipating a chase or a case blitz, and simply throwing a little 5-yard slant or hook.
Guthrie lines up as a tight end. They'll hand it to Matt Glenn. Works his way to the 5, in for the touchdown. Glenn picks his way forward for his second TD of the day, and the Bears take a 12-7 lead here in the first quarter. So on that short yardage situation from the 7, they did not go to Guthrie, but instead to Glenn, who again finds the end zone. And it's a 12-7 Bears lead. So we'll see if they go for 2 here, Ed, to
like
try and
go for 2.
make up the extra point they missed earlier. They have 3 receivers. Glenn, the lone man, in the backfield. Buck Smith calls out the signals. Guthrie in motion. Smith back to throw. Fires it. It is caught, and it is in for the touchdown. They went to Guthrie. He made the catch at the 1 and dove in for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, Scotty Guthrie goes 6'1", 230 pounds, and Bobby Bott had him stopped at the goal line, but Bott was giving up 60 pounds and simply couldn't stop Guthrie from falling forward into the end zone. Bott goes 175, and Guthrie simply fell over the top of him for the 2-point conversion.
5:29 to go in the first quarter. 14-7 Bears. Case football after this timeout on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Will receive, now down 14-7. First quarter action. Gonsalves at his own 15 to the 20, out to the 25, picks his way forward to the 30, out to the 34-yard line before the Bears finally haul him down. Nice return, 19 yards for Luis Gonsalves. Gonsalves, the 5'11 junior out of Franklin, PA.
Scoring drive for WashU, Dave, was 9 plays, 62 yards. Took 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Tapped off with Matt Glenn's 7-yard touchdown run, his second of the ball game.
5:21 to go. First quarter here at Case Field today. Spartans back on the field, down by 7 in the first quarter. Whalen rolls out right, goes to checking out of the backfield, makes the catch, gets to the 40, spins forward past the 45, down to the 46-yard line.
Case came out in a pro set formation. Backs in an eye, 2 wide receiver set, which is unusual for the Spartans. They are usually in a 3 and 4 wide out. Looking like they were going to run the football. Dan Whalen with an outstanding play fake. Corey Checken found area in the flat to pick up the 12 yards.
First down play goes to Deitman. Deitman, the freshman out of Mentor, gets across midfield down close to the 49-yard line. Billy Deitman picks up 4 on the play. 4:50 to play here in the first quarter. 14-7, Washington U.
So Pfeiffer will check in at tight end. Sutka checks out for Case.
They have Cowdrick on the left, Colasar on the right. Deitman and Checken in the backfield. Checken offset to the left. They'll go to Deitman. He gets a block, puts his head down, dives forward for about 2. They'll give him forward progress and get the Ball spotted on around the 48-yard line. Third down for Case.
Spartans are struggling to run the football, getting that push up front against a big defensive front for WashU. They run a 4-3. That's something they haven't seen a lot of this year. Most teams are in a 3-4 or a 3-3 stack.
Whalen adjusts the play at the line. He has 4 receivers in the game. 2 on each side. He'll go to Sean Nicely with it. Makes the catch, goes to the 45, out to the 44-yard line. Close to a first down, but he may be slightly short.
Looked like Nicely was unsure if he wanted to go to the inside or outside, and that slight hesitation may have cost him enough for a first down. If he had picked a route, either inside or outside, I think he would have gotten there. Instead, Case is going to be forced to kick.
Spartans come up just shy of the first down marker, and Whalen will come in to punt it away. Back deep to receive, Jim O'Brien and Matt Mangini for WashU. The Bears are 6-2, Case 8-0. Case ranked nationally in 2 polls this week. Whalen will fake and run. He gets the first down and more to the 40, out to the 30, out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
That's the first time this year we've seen any real trickery out of the Case Spartans.
Dan Whalen with the fake punt, and he runs for a first down, and Case in business with a new set of downs, the football at the 26.
And that was obviously called from the sideline and not Whalen making a last-minute decision because all 11 players were on board with the play.
Case already at the line of scrimmage. They have Colasar and Cowdrick to the left side. No receivers to the right. Eye in the backfield with Deitman and Checkett. Whalen takes the snap, drops back to throw. He's being rushed, and he is going to get out of trouble. Rolls out to the left side, throws for the end zone, but overthrows Cowdrick. Incomplete.
Cowdrick looking for a flag. Talking to the back judge about the contact he had inside the 5-yard line. But a tough throw for Dan Whalen, rolling to his left, having to throw back across his body to the far hash mark.
You know, Ed, lots of times you find yourself talking about Dan Whalen and you say, how did he get out of that? That was an example of that right there when it looked like he was going to go down, but somehow got out of that pocket that was collapsing around him. 4 receivers in the game. Whalen again in trouble, and this time nowhere to run. He's sacked back at the 35-yard line.
That was a delayed or designed quarterback draw, and WashU got such a push that Whalen, by the time he looked up, was staring at 4 white shirts before he could even make a decision.
Bob Pine, the defensive lineman, got to Whalen first, the 6'2", 210-pound senior. And so a third down for Case. That was a big loss of 7 yards. Third down and 17 from the 33-yard line with 2:20 to play here in the first quarter.
Probably in 4-down territory.
Now Whalen goes back to throw, being rushed. He gets rid of the football, looking for Nicely again in the end zone. He makes the catch, touchdown.
Sean Nicely with an amazing catch. Simply reached over the shoulders of the defender, and the ball fell into his hands.
Evan Meyer all over Nicely with great defensive coverage, but Nicely hauls it in for his second touchdown. Case pulls to within 14-13 on that 33-yard touchdown strike to Nicely.
And for Nicely, 2 touchdowns last week, 2 this week, takes over the team lead.
Sam Coffey ready to kick it through for the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it's good. Coffey makes it a 14-14 game. 2:07 to play in the first quarter. We'll be back with more from Case Field after this timeout on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Spartans and Bears are locked in a shootout already. 14-14 tie with 2:07 to play here in the first quarter. Sean Nicely, who was our player of the game guest last week after his performance against the University of Chicago, has caught 2 Dan Whalen touchdown passes today. Whalen hooking up on a 50-yard strike earlier. That time for 33 yards out, and Nicely with a great athletic play to haul it in. They reverse on the kickoff return. Carrying the football is Tim Gulis, and he runs out of bounds out near the 27-yard line. That's where WashU will take over.
Mike Peliak, John Tiemeyer stayed in their lanes, not fooled by the reverse, and simply forced him out of bounds at about the 30-yard line.
So here comes Buck Smith, the quarterback for Washington University. We're in first quarter action, 2:02 to play here in the opening quarter on a beautiful fall day. Some sun starting to peek through the clouds. Here is the first play from scrimmage. They get it on a short route out to the right side by Koningsnecht, and he makes the catch and picks his way forward to about the 37. So very close to first down yardage on that first pass play from scrimmage.
They're going to give him the first down without even measuring.
Buck Smith completes the pass to Matt Koningsnecht, who is a 6-foot senior out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. Bears looking to rebound after a loss last week. They hand it up the middle, and Case defends that well as they get a good push of about 4 guys to snuff out that run carried by Matt Glenn.
Brown, Brew, Calderon, all there for Case. Ben Klabina also there.
Clock continues to move here in the first quarter with 1:18 to play. Coming up at halftime, we'll hear from Greg Debelak, the 4th-year head coach of the Spartans. We'll also talk with Esther Erb, a senior cross-country runner here at Case Western Reserve University, who last week won the UAA cross-country meet, capturing the first ever individual conference championship for Case Western Reserve. They hand it off to Koningsnecht, the receiver carrying the football. He gets out to the 40-yard line. A pickup of close to 4, and a third down and around 7 coming up for Washington. So a big play here as the Bears will try and keep the drive alive. Right now, 35 seconds on the clock. We'll see if they get a playoff before the end of the quarter.
They're going to have to. Play clock is already running down to 14.
22 on the game clock. Smith back to throw. He is going to be hit and dropped for a sack in the backfield. John Genovese brings him down. A sack will make it 4th down.
For Genovese, he now has 5.5 sacks on the season. The Case defense, phenomenal in pressuring the quarterback. Calderon with 5 sacks. Brown has 4. Genovese now with 5.5.
That's the end of the first quarter here at Case Field today. 14-14 score. We'll be back with second quarter action in just a moment on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. is a punt as Washington U punts it away following the sack of Buck Smith. The Spartans, Luis Gonsalves, downed at the 24-yard line on the return, and the Spartans come out tied in this game 14-14. 14:52 showing on the clock here in the second quarter. Dan Whalen under center. 3 receiver set. Cowdrick in the slot on the right side of Whalen. Nicely lined up wide to the right. Colasar wide to the left. Deitman and checking in the backfield. Deitman has the football, hit at the 25, and he'll be thrown down to the turf. Not much gain.
What's surprising is WashU was stopping the Case running game on just 6 men in the box. With 5 defensive backs in the ball game, they're spread out, manning up on the wide receivers, and Case is simply unable to get a push against the front 6 of WashU.
They do give Deitman 2 on his forward progress, so Whalen approaches center again. Colasar, the lone man on the left side. Cowdrick and Colasar have been a fine receiving tandem this year, but Nicely has been the story today. They'll go to Nicely as the release valve on that play. Whalen rolling to his right. Everybody was covered but Nicely, and he gets a short gain as he steps out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So they pick up 3, 3rd down and 5 for the Spartans, who are tied in this game right now with Washington University. We're at Case Field in Cleveland today. Glad to have you with us for Division III football as the Spartans look to protect their unbeaten mark. They are right now 8-0. Whalen will work from the shotgun. Checking the lone man in the backfield. They fake the handoff. They'll throw to Cowdrick on a crossing pattern. He makes the grab, gets out close to the 34-yard line where he needed to be for the first down. We'll see where they mark it. And this may be a measurable play, maybe not. They're looking at it right now. And they are going to bring out the chains, Ed, to see just where this ball came down.
I think where it's marked, he's going to be just short. I think he needed to get about a half a football past the 34-yard line, and I don't think he got that far.
Cowdrick made the catch, was hit almost immediately, and they stretch out the chain right now, and boy, you're talking about maybe 4 inches, if that.
About the half a length of football.
So they will talk it over here on the sideline and see what they're going to do. Dan Whalen is going to go back in punt formation, so a little too deep in their own territory to try it here in a tie ball game, 14-14. Mangini back deep to receive this kick. He is standing at his own 30-yard line. Whalen back to punt. He'll punt it from his own 20. There's the snap to Whalen. They come after him. He gets the kick away, and it'll take a good Case bounce. It's grabbed by Mangini at the 18. He'll be hit and dropped at about the 23-yard line. Good coverage by Case on the punt.
Looked like there was a block in the back right at the 20-yard line. Not called. Scott Klabina down there on coverage. Looked like he got pushed.
13:20 to play before halftime. We're at Case Field today, and the Bears come back out. They've scored twice today. Buck Smith, the quarterback. 1 man in the backfield, 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. That's Koningsnecht on the left side. They put Jeff Howenstein in motion. He lines up on the right side of the line. They'll go back at hand for a running play out close to the 30-yard line, close down to the 33. As Jim O'Brien gets the call. O'Brien, the freshman runner out of Wheaton, Illinois. And he gets about 9 yards on that carry.
Just simply put his head down and push the pile for an additional 5 yards.
2nd down and 1 now for the Bears. Back to handoff Smith. He goes to O'Brien again. Turns the corner. Gets across the 35 to the 40 and out to the 42 before Luis Gonsalves levels him with a hit. Another good run for O'Brien as he picks up the first down and more.
The stretch plays that we've seen in the first 8 games by Case's opponents have been slow to develop. They take a while for the running back to get to the edge. Today, WashU doing a nice job quickly getting to the corner on those stretch plays.
Football marked at the 41 with 12:30 to play here in the second quarter. 14-14. Buck Smith back to throw. Fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws downfield, finds his man. The ball caught by Jeff Howenstein, the tight end. He gets out to the 50, and so a 9-yard pickup. And it'll be second down and very short for the Bears.
Just a little tight end delay, drag across the middle of the field. Smith waited for Howenstein to find an open slot, get him on the run.
3 minutes gone by, second quarter so far. Buck Smith back to handoff. He'll go to O'Brien. He runs straight up the middle and gets out to the Case 45. O'Brien with his 3rd carry on this particular drive, and he has gotten over 20 yards on those 3 carries. First down and 10. He picked up 4 on that run. 22 yards for O'Brien on this drive. Lubelski in motion. O'Brien gets the carry again, running up the middle, tripped up, gets about 2 on the play. Second down coming up for the Bears.
This is a bigger play for Case than maybe a 3rd down play. They need to force WashU into a 3rd and long. Minimize the options that WashU has coming out on 3rd down.
They line up Brian Murphy on the left side. And in motion, Smith with a quick out, almost intercepted. He was looking for Koningsnecht on a crossing pattern, but Koningsnecht was starting to run down the sideline, and the pass incomplete.
He had a man in the slot as well. He threw it behind him and out in front of Koningsnecht.
So, Ed, as you alluded to, they did hold on that play, and they force a 3rd down and 7 now. The football on the Case 43. WashU with the football. This game tied at 14. And in motion, now Smith takes the handoff. They'll go to O'Brien with it on a draw play. O'Brien to the 40. He is hit and dropped short of the first down. Ben Klabina there defensively with some help. And the draw play nearly worked, but it comes up a couple of yards short, and the Bears will punt.
Yeah, being 3rd and long, it really put WashU in a situation where they had only a few options. They've been able to run the football effectively when it also was a passing option. In this situation, it was 3rd and long. About the only thing you could really truly run out of that was the draw play.
The punter is Tommy Bawden. He will put the right foot into it. He aims it for the 5-yard line. It drops there. It takes a good bounce. Washington with good coverage. Kyle Gray down there to down it at the 2-yard line. Excellent job by Bawden getting that kick up in the air. Put it over the head of Gonsalves. And instead of bouncing into the end zone, it just sort of hopped right up into the air, Ed, and they were able to down it inside the 5.
Well, Case is in a situation now where they have a couple of options. One is either try to pick up 30 or 40 yards on first down and really move the ball out there, or kind of power it away from their own goalpost.
Football is marked on the 2, so a tight formation. No receivers for Whalen right now. 3 men in the backfield. Whalen takes the handoff. He'll hand up the middle, and I believe that was Chekin carrying the football, but did not get much room to maneuver. Chekin carries. He does get out close to the 4-yard line, so a pickup of 2. Second down and 8 for Case, pinned deep in their own territory in this 14-14 ball game.
Now a couple of receivers check in for Case. Colasar and Caldrick check in. Sutka and Jones check out for Case.
Greg Meyer, the lone man in the backfield right now. Check-in lines up on the right side, and he'll go in motion. Lines up to Whalen's right now. Whalen back to throw. He'll try and keep it himself. Has to get out of his own end zone. He will make for the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 5.
We've seen Dan Whalen in that situation. He has the option either to throw the ball, run the ball. It's designed to allow him to feel out the defense, see what they do, and react to it. In that case, he was forced to really tuck it under with only one receiver in the pattern on this side of the field. Picked up a yard, but not much else.
Right now it's 3rd down for Case. 9:15 to play here in the second quarter. Whalen now with 4 receivers in the football game. Webster is checked in. He's lined up in the slot on the left side. Whalen will go to Meyer on a little screen pass right at the 5-yard line, but Meyer in traffic, able to make the catch, but no room to run. And the Spartans will have to punt it away from their own end zone.
Not sure what that was. Wasn't a whole lot of blocking set up for that screen pass. And it looked like WashU had it hemmed in to start with.
So Whalen will be right under his own goalpost. And he will kick it away. And this will be great field position now for WashU. Matt Mangini and Jim O'Brien back to receive the kick. They are standing at the Case 40-yard line. Waiting on the snap. It is good to Whalen. He gets the kick away. Might have been partially blocked or possibly just shanked. It lands at the 25, takes a bad bounce for Case and rolls backward toward the 21-yard line. And that's where Case able to down it. Calderon diving on the football to stop it. And WashU will have it on the Case 21 to start their drive.
It's a game of field position, and WashU pinned Case deep on a punt, then got a bad kick from Dan Whalen, a net of just 16 yards. And in reality, WashU picks up about 25 yards from their last possession.
1st and 10 from the Case 21. So the Spartans will look to make a stand defensively here, possibly force a turnover. Buck Smith back to throw. He fires the pass. It's knocked down by Calderon. Incomplete.
Calderon knocked that down with his hands or his head.
He was about ready to smash Smith on a sack, but Smith, who had looked one way, turned the other to pass. All of a sudden, he had Calderon right in his face.
And we talked about the offensive troubles for Case running the football. Right now, a powwow with head coach Greg Devilak, James Rosenberry, the running back coach, and all of the running backs all kind of huddled on the sideline. And Debs want to find out what's going on offensively, why they can't run the football.
Buck Smith back to handoff now. They go to Gabe Murphy. Tries to turn the right corner. Doesn't have a lot of running room. He stays in bounds. Breaks over the 20. Down close to the 18-yard line. So he may have picked up 3. And all of a sudden it's a 3rd and 7 for WashU.
Case defending that sweep, as we have seen them do all year. Really strung it out, slowed the play down, and forced WashU into a situation where they had to either just dive ahead for a couple of yards or pick a seam.
7:42 to go here in the second quarter. We are tied at 14 here in this University Athletic Association game. Smith fires it out to Koningsnecht. He makes the catch at the 15, but that is short of the first down. They pick up maybe 4 on the play and get down to the 14-yard line, but it'll be 4th down for the Bears. So we'll see if they go for it or elect to kick the field goal. Buck Smith is still on the field.
I have an official's timeout.
Timeout taken by WashU. They'll talk it over. It's 4th and 3 from the Case 14. We'll take a timeout as well. 7:10 to play in the second quarter. 14-14 tie here at Case. Back in a moment on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. for the University of Washington Bears as they play here today at Case, trying to win a share of the UAA title. Case trying to win it outright. Buck Smith will go for it on 4th down. Man in motion. They'll go with a short pass out to Mangini. He'll throw the option pass to the end zone. It's knocked down and broken up by John Tiemeyer of the Spartans as they tried to reach in and bring out a trick play, but Case able to foil the halfback option pass, and the Spartans will take over after that 4th down play failed.
You know, that shows a lot of confidence on John Tiemeyer's part. He understands that the front 5 or 6 for Case has really played the run well all year. He doesn't need to come up from his outside linebacker, cornerback position to play the run, and allowed him to stay back and defend that pass.
Case takes over on their own 14-yard line as they get the ball back on downs. Whalen out to throw, rolls to the right side. Everybody covered. Whalen going for the sideline, and he'll step out of bounds, just narrowly avoiding a hit. As he runs it out past the 20, they'll mark it out at the 23.
Tim Cowdrick just hit Kyle Huber hard. Allowed Whalen to get a couple extra yards, but Cowdrick coming back from his pass pattern put the wood to Huber.
Cowdrick lines up to the right. Colasar out wide to the left. They'll hand it up the middle to Corey Chekin. Chekin gets across the 25 and gets the 1st down. So Whalen picked up 9 on his scramble. Chekin gets the 1st down. They'll mark the football on the 28-yard line of Case. They took over on the 14. This game is tied at 14 all with 6:50 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Meyer running the football, and he'll go nowhere. Could not get out of the backfield. The Bears defend that play well, and Meyer is tripped up behind the 25.
Quick count, quick formation for Case. And WashU was prepared for it. They were in a short run defensive set on 2nd and 1. Same defense out there on 1st and 10 was able to stop Meyer in the backfield.
Whalen takes the snap. He'll drop back to throw. Goes to Cowdrick. He'll try and make his way upfield, but he is hit and dropped, and that one will go for a loss.
Nicely tried to cut block a couple of the linebackers for a WashU, and both of them just hurtled over nicely and hemmed in Cowdrick.
That one loses a yard back to the 23. And so it is 3rd down and 15. They'll stack 3 receivers on the left side. Colasar, Cowdrick, and Webster nicely all alone on the short side of the field. He lines up near the Case bench. Check it in the backfield with Whalen. He'll go back to throw. Fires it across the middle for nicely. Catches it at the 35-yard line, but short of the 1st down. Nicely makes the grab, but not much running room, and that'll leave him 3 yards short. 4th down and 3 from the 35. Case will punt it away. This game is tied at 14 here in the 2nd quarter.
See if Case can tip the field position table. They were under their own goalpost. They made a nice stop after a bad punt, and they now have the ball out at the 35-yard line. Let's see if they can put WashU back on their side of the field.
Case did fake a punt earlier and ran for a 1st down. Whalen will very likely punt this one away. He does get the kickoff, and it's a great punt. High driving kick all the way back to the 18. O'Brien will field it, and he will not get past his 20 before he is forced out of bounds.
So Whalen made up for the bad punt last time with a booming kick. 45-yard net, 48 yards in the air for Whalen.
They'll mark it on the 20, and that is where WashU will take over. This game tied at 14. The Bears come back out on offense with Buck Smith, who has completed 7 of his 11 pass attempts today for 109 yards.
And he has thrown the 1 interception that led to a Case touchdown.
They'll hand to Matt Glenn. Glenn ducks forward up the middle across the 22. We'll see if they give him the 23. They will mark the football on the 23. A 3-yard pickup for Matt Glenn. Washington University out of St. Louis, Missouri. Case today trying to snap a 15-game losing streak to the Bears. Their last win came in 1991 when they had a 22-21 victory. Buck Smith takes the snap. They'll go back and hand it to Jim O'Brien across the 25 out to the 30, falls forward to the 31-yard line.
That was a formation that Case wasn't ready for. WashU came out with a 2 tight end set, off balance line to the right. And O'Brien simply ran behind the power of that line.
He runs for the
first down.
Gets the first down. Ed, as you said, 30-yard line, the line of scrimmage right now. The Bears lost last week, but they are 6-2 on the season, trying to hand Case their first conference loss and secure a 3-way tie for the conference title. This pass nearly picked off, and it is.
WashU only had 10 players on the field.
That pass tipped around. It was intended for Matt Koningsneck. It was tipped by about 2 players, finally came down into the hands of Ben Klabina.
Looked like WashU had 6 on the line, including the tight end, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, and the quarterback.
Not sure who it was who got the hand on that ball in the air, but it got batted around a couple times, and Klabina finally caught it when he was lying flat on his back. And it's the second interception today for Case, and they get the football back on another turnover with the football marked at the 34. So Smith intercepted for the second time today. Whalen will go back to pass. Looking downfield, he is rushed. He's going to have to go out of bounds, but he is tripped up, and they say he stayed inbounds. So Whalen sacked by WashU. First one to him was Andrew Berryman.
Berryman came off the outside on a delayed blitz, wasn't fooled by the play fake. When he recognized it was a pass, he simply ran Whalen down from behind. Berryman, the UAA Player of the Week on defense last week, had 23 tackles against Carnegie Mellon.
This one loses 8 yards. Back to the 42-yard line. Second down and 18 for Case. This game tied at 14. 2:57 to play here in quarter number 2. Whalen back to throw. Looks downfield. Fires it deep. Looking for Nicely at the 5. It's tipped away as both players go falling out of bounds. Brandon Brown, the defensive back, able to provide the coverage there and knock that pass away.
Well, Whalen's taking a chance throwing into this WashU defense. Brown with 4 interceptions this year. Bowden has 3. And Tim Makeup, who's their nickelback, has 7, which is first at the Division III level.
So a long third down play facing Case now. Third down and 18 from the Bears 42. Eye in the backfield with Meyer and Checkett. Whalen will go back to throw. Looking for some blocking. He'll have to run it straight up the middle as he gets out of the pocket, out close to the 30-yard line. Everybody covered again. Whalen tried to run for daylight, and he did pick up some good yardage, but not enough for the first down.
Lost his shoe. Chris Center recovered it. Brought it over to Whalen.
All the way up to the 30. So he picks up 12 on the scamper, but that leaves 4th and 6 right now with 2:12 to play here in the first half. And Whalen walking a little gingerly over toward the sideline.
I think they're going to let the play clock run down, take a timeout, and come up with a play on 4th and 5 from the 30.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Case takes the timeout. 1:57 to play in the second quarter. We'll take a timeout as well. All tied at 14 here at Case Field. Back in just a moment on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. go for it on 4th down, and Whalen hooks up with Tim Cowdrick near the right sideline. He's pushed out at the 23, and so they convert on 4th down. So following the timeout, Ed, they scripted that play, a quick route to Cowdrick, and he ends up with the 1st down.
Cowdrick, that's his 2nd catch of the game, has just 3 yards on the afternoon. Now needs 205 yards in the last 2 ball games to move past David Kalavig for the all-time single-season record for receiving yards. Cowdrick comes in with 831, need 1,039 to take over the lead.
High route out to Colasar near the goal line, but it's broken up and incomplete, with Nick Von Brack providing the coverage for Washington U.
Both of them together were playing the football. For a minute there, I thought it was going to be just a tug of war who was going to roll over on top of the football.
2nd down and 10 now for Case with 1:48 to play here in the 2nd quarter. We are tied at 14 in this key University Athletic Association matchup.
Webster and Nicely have checked into the ball game.
4 receivers, Cowdrick and Nicely on the right, and the Spartans again have to take a timeout. So they did not have the right formation in the game, and they take a timeout with 1:48 to play. Case marching here. The football on the Washington U 23-yard line. This game tied at 14. We'll take this 30-second timeout. Back with more after this on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. From the 23, Whalen back to throw, goes over the middle for Cowdrick, makes the catch at the 15. He's hit and tackled right there. Tim McCann making the hit on Whalen, on Cowdrick rather, after the completion. And that makes the Spartans look at a 3rd down and very short, Ed. This ball marked at the 14.
Yeah, I almost thought it was a 1st down, but I think Case did too, and now they realize it's 3rd down.
3rd down, very short. Whalen tries to push forward to get the 1st down, and it looks like he hasn't. Well, Whalen trying to get the 1st down himself. Cowdrick motioning over to the bench that he thought Whalen got the 1st down, and he did.
I think it's surprised Case that they came up a little short on that play. Had to change their plans, go to plan B relatively quickly.
1st down and 10 now from the 12 for the Spartans, as Whalen picked up 2 important yards there on that 1st down. Checking is the lone man in the backfield. Whalen back to throw, and he sidearms it, looking for Nicely, as Whalen was rushed very quickly. And Case today had being pressured as much as any team has faced them with this year. Wash U really getting some good pressure on Whalen all day today.
Well, the front 4 for Wash U not only is big, but they're very quick as well. Rhodes, Palmer, Bob Pine, Andrew McClellan, John Schneider. They rotate 8 or 9 guys on the front 4 for Wash U, so there's fresh legs, they're big, and they're fast.
1:09 left here in the 2nd quarter. Whalen with Chekin offset to the left. They'll go for Colasar back in the corner of the end zone. Colasar got tripped up by Nick Von Brack, but no call there. And
both sides looking for a flag. The Wash U coaches want an offensive pass interference. The Case sideline looking for defensive pass interference.
Von Brack out of River Forest, Illinois. He's a sophomore. There was some contact there between he and Colasar, but no flag comes out. 3rd down and 10 from the Bears' 12-yard line. Case knocking on the door here, trying to jump in front before the halftime break. We are tied at 14 today. Case 8 wins, no losses on the season. Whalen back to throw. Looks to the corner of the end zone. Caught by Nicely. Tries to push the ball over the pylon, but he is called out of bounds at the 1.
But it'll be a first down, and Case will have 4 shots from inside the 1.
Nicely makes the grab right on the 1-yard line next to the sideline, and he tried to get the ball over the plane of the goal line, but they say he was out of bounds. First down for Case from the 1. Whalen with 3 backs lined up. Brendan Jones has checked in. They'll go to Corey Checkett. He hits the line of scrimmage. Did he get in? No signal yet. They're saying no, he didn't. Second down coming up for the Spartans.
In a way, I think this helps Case out because even they still have enough time to run a couple of plays and make sure that WashU doesn't get the ball back.
Case does not have a timeout left. They'll hand it Checkett. He dives in that time. Touchdown Spartans as Case takes the lead on a 1-yard plunge by Corey Checkett. That makes it 20-14.
I think the Case offense they seemed to panic a little bit there when Checkett didn't get in on first down. Seemed a little unsettled on second down. And even though Checkett only had about 14 inches to go to get into the end zone, still a little unnerving offensively. They didn't seem set.
Sam Coffey will come in and try the PAT. Colasar will hold. The snap is good. Colasar with the hold. That's good. The kick hits the crossbar and drops through. The extra point good by Coffey, and that's the type of bounce you get when you're having a great year.
Yeah, for Sam Coffey now, 43 of 44 on extra points. Case has scored 44 touchdowns this year, and they've given up just 15.
Checkett with his 10th touchdown of the year on that 1-yard scoring drive. So the Spartans turn 2 interceptions into touchdowns today. They lead at 21-14. I want to say congratulations to a wonderful man involved with the Case University football program. Spartans equipment manager Hugh Marshall is working his 200th Case Western Reserve football game today. Hugh began his career here at Case with his first game back in 1987. And today is his 200th game on the Spartans sideline. So congratulations to Hugh Marshall. Does a great job as the Spartans equipment manager, and he has become a fixture here at University Circle. Sam Coffey to kick off. The squib kick bounces out near the 35-yard line. It's grabbed there by Washington's Bryce Buchanan. He's still on his feet, gets out close to the 50 before they haul him down. Broke into Case territory. They will mark that football on the 49.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, but with almost 40 seconds to go in the half, I don't like the squib kick at that point. I'd rather kick it deep and force WashU to bring it back all the way. You let Buchanan field the ball at the 35. He picked his way all the way into Case territory. And now with 30 seconds and 2 timeouts left, WashU has a chance not only to move into field goal territory, but possibly poke one in inside the ball game.
The quarterback is Buck Smith. He comes back out. Smith today 7 out of 12, 109 yards. He goes back to throw, goes with the screen pass out to a running back out of the backfield. That's Jim O'Brien carrying the football, and he gets out past the 40-yard line, down close to the 38. And now 21.3 seconds remain in the second quarter.
And he gets out of bounds. The clock stops. They don't have to use a timeout.
WashU with 2 timeouts left. Case leading the Bears 21-14. Spartans with 2 interceptions today, and both have led to Spartan touchdowns. (21-14) score. Case trying to remain unbeaten today. We mentioned that if Case wins this game today, it will snap a 15-game losing streak to the Bears. Lots of other firsts as well. It would be the first outright conference championship for Case Western Reserve University. They tied in a co-championship in 1996. Buck Smith calls out the signals from the shotgun. He looks downfield. Time to throw. Fires it, and it's caught by O'Brien. He gets inside the 35, and they'll spend a timeout here as he rolls down close to the 32 of Case. And 13.5 seconds remain here in the second quarter.
Case in a very loose, deep zone. They're giving WashU the underneath yardage. WashU probably has time for 2, maybe 3 plays, depending on the outcome.
13.5 seconds left here in the second quarter. Glad you're with us today for Case Western Reserve football as the Spartans look to go 9-0. That would be just the second time in school history. The 1984 team was 9-0. This would be the 10th consecutive win for Case going back to last season. And should they be able to win here today, it would be their 6th consecutive win here at Case Field.
You know, another thing you have to look at, just the fact that they have 8 wins this year puts them over 500. It's the first time in 15 years, or only the second time in 15 years, they've had a plus 500 winning percentage.
Back on the field now. Buck Smith back to throw. Again, has time. Now he rushes out of the pocket, gets over near the sideline, fires it back to the middle of the field. Had a man open. That was Joe Lubelski, but the pass incomplete as Lubelski could not hang on.
That took up a lot of time, almost 10 seconds on the play. And this will most likely be the final play of the half. If you were looking at Michael Elliott as a kicker, they had to get at least to the 20-yard line. His long for the season was just 37 yards. He's perfect at 3 for 3, but hasn't attempted too many all year.
So with 4.5 seconds left, the Bears do have 1 timeout, and they're going to take it right now, I believe. They do whistle the timeout. And so they will talk things over here with 4.5 seconds left. 21-14 Case. The Bears scored first today. Case rebounding to take this lead here. The very late stages of the second quarter, 21-14. And so we'll see what they come up with here for this final 4.5 seconds, Ed. But like we've seen before, and very similar to last week, Case falling behind early. University of Chicago had a field goal in their first possession. And after that, Case able to rebound, and they ended up blowing out the Maroons last week. Not so easy today against a tougher University of Washington team, but still rebounding well after an early deficit.
Yeah, after starting slowly, they got the interception by Luis Gonçalves at the 50-yard line with about 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. And with that, Dan Whalen went deep. So over the last quarter and a half, they've outscored the Bears 21-7 and are maybe beginning to put a little room between them and WashU, closing in on a conference title. I have to believe this is your flood play.
They have 3 receivers stacked to the left. Buck Smith back to throw, rushes out of the pocket, fires it downfield. This one's up for grabs, and it is incomplete. And that's the final play of the first half. Quite a rousing ovation for Case as they head to the locker room after a very nice first half. They have the lead over Washington U, 21-14. Coming up on our halftime show, we'll be hearing from Greg Debelak, the 4th-year head coach of the Spartans. We'll also be talking with Esther Erb, the University Athletic Association women's cross-country champion. She's a senior here at Case. Ed will have a complete look at all of the stats. All of that coming up on our halftime show here today. We'll be back in just a moment on the Spartans Broadcasting Network. Yeah, a very special day here at Case. Not only is it family day here with a lot of people in and visiting, but conference title on the line with Wash U in town, and it's a great atmosphere and a great step for your program, right?
It is, and we start off the year. When I first addressed the team, I said I thought they could be the best team in the last 20 years here, and I think I set the bar a little too low, because we have a chance to be even